on angels. I'm like, well, okay. You know, usually when you're dealing with Israel, you're suspect of any book. But if you have a strong foundation in Scripture, then you don't have to worry about being swayed with this other mess that's out there. Because let me tell you, they be putting their information in books. We don't read books, brothers and sisters. Let me go into Yahweh or Jehovah out of this particular book. It's a book on angels. And you notice in the book, all through it, I don't know if you can see it clearly, but it has what you would call the Kabbalah tree of life all up in it. Jewish people know about this. Right? And on this side, it says Jehovah or Yahweh, which is one of the many names of Metatron. One of the many names of Metatron. One moment. It says one of the many names of Metatron. Same thing, tetragrammaton. One of the many names of, see it in highlight, Metatron. Metatron, Megatron, they be telling you, even in Transformers, came down to earth, fell into the earth, transformed into something, but they use cars and trucks so that you don't get alarmed that they're talking about fallen angels and demons that are now controlling the powers of this earth. But let's see who's Metatron in this same book. Metatron. This is interesting. Metatron, El Shaddai, reproduced from Mathers, the greater key of Solomon. There go your Metatron. There go Yahweh. There's Yahweh. There's Jehovah. And what's over his head? The six-pointed star. Star of Moloch. That's where they do child sacrifice. That's what they're going to use this Christmas, to sacrifice a little 12 or 13-year-old young little girl they probably done kidnapped already. This is what they do. That's Yahweh. That's Jehovah. That's Yah. I have other books. Last but not least, to pull it all together, something that we went into last week to prove that the golden calf that we were dealing with, that, well, the people who were off and against the truth of the Most High. And don't forget, Israel wasn't together throughout existence. Only 10% of Israel is going to make it through this. And then out of that 10%, 2/3 going to be cut off and die in the wilderness. So you have to realize, you knowing you Israel is not the end of this. Just because we're Israel doesn't mean we're together, brothers and sisters. And that's what you have to understand. All those people out there claiming that we need to bring Israel together, listen, Christ is going to bring Israel together. Those that are with him. You can't unite all of Israel. That's Yeshaya's job. Read Isaiah, the 11th chapter. Okay, so you saying that you wish everyone could come together and be on one accord in one doctrine, that will never happen, because some people are going to stay in what they deal in. Regardless of your desires to have all Israel together. Who want Israel to come together more than the Most High? Okay? So don't be counterproductive and fight against prophecy. What you can do is follow the Most High in spirit and truth, and follow the truth of Yeshaya, and pray that he gather the elect to the elect. Because let me tell you, you out there trying to pull people together and pull all Israel together, they'll end up crucifying you. The same people you trying to pull together. Because why? They are invoking and dealing with another God. You just got to stand with truth. Last but not least, to prove to you that Yahweh or Jehovah or Yehovah, to prove beyond any shadow of a doubt that that is the name of the golden calf. Let's go to Exodus, the 32nd chapter.
Exodus chapter 32, verse 1.
Read.
And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron, and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we went not what has become of him.
So when Moses went up to the mount to receive the commandments from the Most High, he was up there so long that the people thought that maybe he wouldn't make it back. So they put Aaron over the camp and said, Aaron, it's time for us so that we can be safe. Let's make us a god and pray to this God. And let's make homage to this God. We're here in the wilderness by ourselves. We need to pray to a God. Now, mind you, the only gods they had knowledge of were the gods they brought out of Egypt at this time. Because the Most High haven't revealed himself, haven't revealed the commandments to them at this time. They haven't walked into the wilderness, walked into Canaan at this time. And don't forget, that was an unbelieving generation. The Most High killed off every man, woman of generation that came out of Egypt, and only let their children walk into the land of Canaan, except for two, Joshua and Caleb. So these people were unbelieving. That's why they were marching around 40 years in the wilderness in a circle. And Israel wasn't too far from where they were. Canaan was not too far. So it's the same with our people. You can tell them the truth, but they'll just walk around in a circle and try to ignore it and just try and without dealing with the truth. This is how we are. So now, according to the scriptures, Moses is up. He went up to the wilderness. He went up to the mount. And now they're making a golden calf. Verse
2.
Go ahead.
And Aaron said unto them.
And Aaron said unto them.
Break off the golden earrings.
Break off your golden earrings.
Which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters.
Go ahead.
And bring them unto me.
And bring them unto me.
And all the people brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears.
Go ahead.
And brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool, and he made it a molten calf.
He made it a what?
A molten calf.
You notice you got a molten calf in all the societies where the Jewish people, banks rule. Wall Street, in London, all the different places, and I've seen them myself, all around the world, every place they got a stake with their God, Yahweh. They have the bull. Read.
And they said, These be thy gods, O Israel.
These be thy gods, O Israel. Read.
Which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
Now, was these the gods that brought Israel out of the land of Egypt? No. But they gave all the credit of the Most High parting the Red Sea and everything to this particular God. Now, think about that. That's what happens when we get the truth and give all the credit the Most High gave us back to the golden calf. Read.
Verse 5. And when Aaron saw it.
And when Aaron saw it.
He built an altar before it.
He built an altar.
And Aaron made proclamation and said.
Now he built an altar for this God, which they claim brought them from the land of Egypt. Now you know how the story goes. Eventually the Most High swallowed a lot of these people up. Told Moses, go down there and tell them which side they're going to stand on. And those that stand on the other side, I'm going to kill. Now Aaron was reprimanded after this, but all in all, he stepped on the right side. He was the leader of this. What did Aaron do?
And Aaron made proclamation.
He made a proclamation and said what?
Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord.
Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord. Now, what Lord was Aaron making a feast to? Not the one that was giving Moses the commandments on the mount. So the feast that he was proclaiming is what the Jewish people follow today. Now, He says a feast to the Lord. So we know that was to the golden calf, right? When you look at the word Lord right there for the golden calf, it gives you in Hebrew, look at your Strong's Concordance, 3068. What is that today? That is the self-existent, eternal Jehovah, the Jewish national name of God. It's Satan. So there's other records that we can go into, but I think that, we got other books, but I think that's plain and simple. I have records where the Catholic Church got the Tetragrammaton with the pyramid, all that, with the all-seeing eye, with the name Yahweh written right under Jehovah or Yahweh written right up under it. Let me tell you, brothers and sisters, you think that you've been broke free when you receive that Jewish Masoretic text and you seen that name. And then you were looking into the old scrolls and say, listen, on papyrus papers, we seen that name. Of course you did. Even though you never seen them yourself, the Jewish people told you that. You notice when they find our records, it goes to them. And then they tell us what's on it. Or it goes to the Masoretes and they spin things and they reveal it to people. So you have to look at who's filtering our information and their intent before readily accepting it. Do your research. Okay? If it is in the past in scrolls, and it is, that name, Yahweh, doesn't mean it's correct. Our people had it coming out of Egypt. And we're punished as a people today because we followed and gave all the credit of our God to Satan. So yes, our people wrote the name down in the past. But look at us today based on their revolt against the true God of Israel. The Bible tells you in Exodus 3, tell them I am that I am sent you unto them. I am that I am, and you can see this in your Hebrew, is Ehyeh, Ashar, Ehyeh. They injected Jah in Psalms. They injected that in 1000 AD. The Catholics and the Jewish sorcerers who are controlling the earth today, who are controlling the Illuminati. Also, one thing before I go, and I guess I'll go into it more so tomorrow because I'm running out of time here. I wanted to say that Woodrow Wilson, a brother sent this and I wanted to read it. It says, Woodrow Wilson, he made a statement. Now, he was a president, the 28th president, from 1913 to 1921. And as you can see, that was the time that the Federal Reserve was made. Okay, and he was set up to bring in a new system, a new cash system that would feed on the people, and then they knew they would bring a society that would make you desire wealth, desire a new life, desire the image of the beast. So they had to set a system in place to control the grid and eventually bring forth the mark of the beast, and to put everybody everywhere in debt. Woodrow Wilson seen the perils of this particular legislation. And this is what he said, and this is why your presidents do not dare go against their leaders. The presidents are puppets. They're just figureheads. They have nothing. They don't make no legislation, and they have nothing to say when it comes to the main scheme, when it comes to the main construct of this world. They're nothing. Okay, they're just used by the Illuminati and those that are over the Illuminati, the spirits. They're just used so that people can have someone to blame and not look at them.